Hi, I'm Steve with Komprise, and today I'm going to show you how to migrate object data to Microsoft Azure Blob. So Komprise is an analytics-driven data management platform that can manage file and object over cloud, hybrid cloud, and on-premises environments. In a previous video, I showed you how we can set up migrations from NAS to NAS and NAS to object. Today is going to be all about object and specifically to Microsoft Azure Blob. So you can see here I've got a bunch of different migration jobs running. We're using that same architecture, that same scale-out architecture that helps Komprise efficiently and quickly move data from source to target while validating each object along the way. So let's go ahead and jump into my lab and I'll show you how we do this. The first thing I did was set up a bucket in Azure or a container called migrate-demo. And then I set up my sources. So here I'm going to click on data stores. I've got Microsoft Azure set up, which will be my source for this demo. My destination for this demo. And I've got Wasabi as my source. So if we click on edit here, you can see what we need to do to set it up. You pick your provider, you provide your storage account name, and then your credentials. And it's very similar to set up an S3 compatible target as well. So now let's go ahead and set up that migration. Click migrate, click add migration. We're going to pick that source. It's going to be Wasabi. I'm going to pick my Komprise migrate bucket, and we can do either the entire bucket if you want or just a prefix, so you can be very granular. Pick next, and now we're going to pick our destination. That's going to be Microsoft Azure, and I'm going to pick the bucket called migrate demo. So here you have a choice. You can choose a storage class, and you can pick hot, cool, or archive. For this lab, I'm going to pick hot, and the idea is that when that data comes over, I can actually create a Komprise plan within Azure to move that bucket to move that data to the appropriate tier. So here, if it's 8 weeks or older, I'm going to move it to Azure Cool, and at 6 months, I'll move it to Azure Archive. So we'll go ahead and leave hot. So you'll see here that it says that unsupported attributes will not be migrated. If you click this, it'll give you all the details. And it's just that each cloud has specific attributes, and they won't always map one for one on the next cloud. So let's click next. We'll leave this, give this a name as Azure Demo. Azure Migrate Demo. Pick next. Now you notice here it's not going to move the ACL, so you'll need to set the appropriate permissions once your data lands in Azure. And you have a choice here if you want to validate the MD5 checksums. You can do this, but keep in mind it may cause additional egress fees. So let's click next, and then we'll go ahead and start that migration. We'll go ahead and let this cook for a while, and then we'll check and see what our data looks like when it lands in Azure. So our migration is completed. Let's go ahead and click on our container, migrate-demo, and you can see that all of our objects are here, including a directory that contains the detailed Komprise audit log, which is a fully detailed log of all the actions that Komprise took, including copies and even any errors that occurred that we had to address along the way. Now, obviously, this is a very small migration job, but what I wanted to emphasize is that we're not only bringing over the file or object data, we're also bringing over the metadata. So let's click on this object that I called metadata.jpg, and you'll see that there is custom metadata that I added to this object while it was in S3. That data has been preserved. There are other migration solutions out there that will move data from S3 to Azure or from object to object, and they'll strip away this metadata. This metadata is really key to helping you get value out of your data. By preserving this, we let you take full advantage of all the offerings that Azure has, including analytics and AI/ML. We're also indexing all of this with Komprise, so you can always find your data. The idea is we're not just moving data from place to place, but we're also helping you drive more value from it. So thank you so much. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next video.